All right, we're actually live this time. Hello and welcome, everybody. It is Thursday, so it is time for the Tank Show, where we hopefully spend some time acquiring new knowledge. Appreciate you all being here. Sorry we were about a minute late. I fired it up, and Ed's like, "Hey, we're not live," and I'm like, "Oh, oops. Let me try this again." I swear I've streamed at least once before, right?
I
But I do
felt bad
appreciate y'all being
interrupting.
here. Oh no, I'm glad you did, because I would have rambled on for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you'd have been like, "Hey, buddy, you never clicked the button a second time."
I guess I could have
So
got up and walked away and see what you do.
yeah, like, well, Ed's gone. Let's just sit here and ramble. A couple things real quick. Huge thank you, little bit, to Everest for the $3 super sticker with that cute little fox saying, "How's it going?" It is going well. Appreciate you being here. Glad to be hanging out with all of you all tonight on a Thursday. Tom Patterson using his membership milestone super chat with the peace sign. Thank you so much, Tom. Hope you're doing well, buddy. As Paul Stero pointed out, the best way to distract me, aka get my attention, is to put the @ symbol in front of Fish Room Fever, either before or after your question or comment, and we'll be happy to read those live on the air, trying to help out wherever we can. So I guess I need to clear something up first of all, because there was some misinterpretation that went on. Because I see people asking, "How's the new place? Do we get a sneak peek?" With last week, I did not stream because all of my stuff was packed up. So we are in the process of moving, but we did not move last week. What we're doing right now is we are packing things to move, but in the process, we're also trying out some different spaces in the house for people. So we're moving both of the boys' rooms around and moving my office around. So all of my office stuff was packed up last week. Last Friday was my youngest's birthday. So we were trying to get everything, kind of get his new room set up before his birthday. And then all my office stuff was just kind of packed away. I didn't really have any place set up to stream and record, and I still don't at the moment, because I'm prioritizing getting both of their rooms done first. But we kind of want to test the spaces before we move. That way, when we move, we can go, "Okay, yeah, that worked really well. Let's put everything back like that," or, "Hey, let's switch these two rooms around." Because we've also got some relatives, some other nieces, nephews, that we are having to watch a lot at the moment. Getting to watch, I should say. It's a pleasure. We're getting to watch at the moment. So we're trying to adapt and adjust to having lots of kids around and in the house and what works best. So for those of you wanting to see the new place, we're not in the new place yet. However, the new place will be the same as the old place because it'll still be this house. As most of you know, I own a mobile home. So we'll be moving the house there. But I am going up tomorrow to look at a piece of the property that is, it's got some water running through it. It's got a creek, as the southern folks would say. It's got a stream, not a river, but it's got some water flowing through there. Going to look at that and get some paperwork done. We've got to get a survey done, and then get it deeded, and then hopefully get up there soon. Most of you know I'm in a lease where I'm at with the property I'm on through January of next year, but there's such an extensive waiting list to get into here. I'm hoping they'll just kind of let me leave so they can let somebody in off that waiting list, but I don't want to go up to them about it until we're 100% ready to go. So that's the whole moving, packing thing. There's a lot of stuff that's being packed for the move that's not being unpacked, but obviously I had to unpack my streaming stuff. I got to have that available. I'm sorry, the picture and everything's going to be a little off tonight. I hope the audio is fine. I worked hard on getting at least that part straightened out. I'm actually broadcasting from the living room, which is still cool for me because this is where most of the tanks are at the moment while we're moving rooms around. I've got, pretty much all of the tanks in here. So 15, 16 tanks set up around me. So that's cool, but it's weird setup. The camera's on a tripod sitting like in between my feet here, and the computer's over there, and it's weird, but I hope y'all enjoy it tonight. So now that we got that cleared up, let's roll on through here. While I'm looking for any questions or comments, Ed, how have you been doing, surgery-wise, recovery-wise?
Well, I had my surgery on Friday. It was successful. It was pretty cool because the floating pacemaker that they were waiting so long for is a really cool, super advanced one, and it's about to have a brother or sister. I don't know. Maybe they call them sisters. A sister one that will fit in the top chamber, but
Okay.
it's at the bottom, and it has a 30-year battery on it, which is crazy. It's in the inside of the heart. It's about the size of a 22 bullet. I don't know if you guys know what a 22 bullet is, but I don't know what's the size of a 22 bullet.
A couple of Tic Tacs put end to end.
Yeah, maybe an end of a pencil. Like if you took a two pencil and break the metal and the eraser off. About that.
Yeah, yeah.
So they went up through my leg and screwed it in. Well, I was supposed to not do anything at all. I'm supposed to just lay around and do nothing because that artery they had to cut it, and it's like a hose because it's the biggest one in your body, and then they shoved it in the hose all the way up into my heart.
Wow.
Well, then they have to reconnect those. And I probably pushed it, and I ended up getting a blood clot in my left leg just below where the surgery was. But at least the artery didn't break, so that's good.
That is.
And then Nico, when it seems like maybe he always does this, I don't know, but he likes to come, like if I'm sitting in a recliner or the couch, he likes to walk over my shoulder, but he like puts his little hand and all 17 pounds of him on my boo-boo every time.
Oh,
and
goodness.
It's super sore. That's where they took the old pacemaker out. And that was that was a lot of trauma to my shoulder. And the bottom half, like I could go swimming today, no problem. But because this is a cut that goes directly to my heart, I'm not allowed to get any water on this for 2 weeks. So that's been kind of a pain in the butt too, because I'd really, really like to take a shower. Sponge baths, just don't get it. I mean, I had my arm in the air and went, oh my gosh, that's terrible when you can smell yourself.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. So, yeah. So, but I'm supposed to have my leg up. Right now I'm sitting Indian style in a chair. And I need to get up because I forgot to turn my fan on. And it's like really hot here. So would you mind if I turn my fan on real quick, James?
You go right ahead, buddy.
Okay. Oh, gosh, this might take a while just to get up.
I see everybody rolled over with that hashtag 49, John's 49. Happy birthday, John. And thank you all for the send over, John and Lisa KG Tropicals, keepfishkeeping.com. We do really appreciate it. All you awesome people hanging out, we appreciate you being here. Drink water using the membership milestone. They've been a member for 11 months. Says, howdy, everybody. Stay cool. It's hot out. It is hot. The AC has not been keeping up, and we've got almost a brand new unit, and it's still not wanting to keep up as of late.
I think I'm 49. I was thinking I was 48, but I think I'm 49 because if I do the math, I was born in 73 and this is 22.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, well.
I'm working my way there. I'm still a baby, everybody tells me. I feel like I'm old, but I'll be 36 on July 2nd. So couple of weeks. Facebook tells everybody my birthday is like the 28th or something of June. And that's my own fault because when I set up the Fish Room Fever Facebook, I was one of those people like, I don't want to give Facebook my birthday. So I put something phony in there and I didn't really think about the fact that it broadcasts to everyone. So I always get birthday wishes a week early and it's really nice. But see, rolling through the highlighted stuff, Scuba Steve-O's Aquatics. How's it going, buddy? Always good to see you. Says, hey, my two favorite YouTubers, Fish Room Fever and Chattanooga Ed. Appreciate you, buddy. That means a lot. And thank you. Hip Hop Hillbilly, good to see you. Let's see. Tank Idea spun a little wild. I now have 3 dwarf brahmies, 3 peacock gudgeons, 3 diamond tetras, and getting 2 more. 6 black neon, 6 cardinal tetras, and 2 hillstream loaches. Also getting 2 more of the hillstream loaches. That is the way it seems to happen a lot of the time. You start on a project, you get a couple things, then it's a couple more. But that's awesome. I love when people, really get into the hobby and enjoy it and find some fish they really, really like. So I'm glad to hear that, Hip Hop Hillbilly. I hope all is going well with that tank setup. I'm assuming it is because there was no question or comment. And I know that you you don't hesitate to ask us stuff. I also appreciate that. It's good to see you, my friend. Roll on down here. Melissa Jeswell, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, how do I get a Tennessee Fish Mafia t-shirt?
Oh, you know what? I'm working that out right now. I'm going to set up a Get Gills page for the time being. And because I'd like to start to sell fish too. So I thought, you know what? I'll set up a Get Gills, put my t-shirts and hats on there, and just get used to the Get Gills scene, and then sell some fish.
Smart idea. So looking forward to that. I know a lot of people are looking forward to being able to purchase those shirts and hats online. And again, thank you so much, Melissa, for the love and support with that $5 super chat to ask your question. Never expected, but always very much appreciated.
Oh, and I'm going to go to the Triple Crown in the Aquashellas, and so if you would want one and going to be in those events, I will make sure I bring them to those too.
There you go.
Oh, and the Clash.
Yeah, and the Triple Crown, Aquashellas, the Clash. That's all over the place.
I actually haven't bought the tickets yet for the Triple Crown. We got a room, and it's at, so I forgot where. I think it's at the Ciclet place, the Ciclet Hotel. So we got a place to stay, James.
Awesome. I love it. I mean, worst case, I just drive. It's close enough. I drive my the Magnum up and throw the air mattress in the back of it.
That's probably what we should have done and saved $100.
Right. Dennis Christian saying the joke is John is 48 and Whipsworld saying John's 48, you're 48, Ed. LOL.
I think I'm 49. But I was doing the math and it was messing with me. Because next year will be 33 or 22 or no 23, and then I was born in 73, so that would be 50. I might be a year younger than John. I mean older than John.
I don't want to hear 50. Let's see.
I graduated the same year as John.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alice B says, I have a 17-gallon looking for suggestions for some active and colorful things that can go with pygmy cories, not wanting to do a betta. So I would think, and this is just my opinion. Again, this is all personal opinion. If you don't like the fish, it doesn't matter. But for me, I'm assuming you're going to be doing some planting in there, Alice.
Yeah.
I really, 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 and I know some of y'all are sick of hearing this for the past 2 years, but I really love Ember Tetras. I love getting into the nano fish on some of those tanks and doing a larger school of them versus, and there's nothing wrong with, 6 of these and 6 of these or 8 of these and 8 of these. I'd rather have, a school of 15 Ember Tetras, 16 Ember Tetras. They're beautiful fish. And I'd love to see a nice little school or shoal of them. That's just me. I'd look for a nano fish that you really enjoy. And then I would do a large group of them as opposed to maybe several of, a few different types of fish. That would just be my thoughts. But most nano fish are going to be fine with pygmy cories. I don't really know of any right off the top of my head that don't do well with pygmies. What about you, Ed? Thoughts?
I'm still trying to figure out my age.
All right, 17-gallon aquarium. A 17-gallon aquarium that has pygmies, looking for suggestions for other tank mates. Not a betta. Doesn't want a betta.
Okay, well, I have a 15 round. It's like this, a cylinder, and it's got pygmies and endlers in it. So, and they seem to do great. I used to get concerned that the endlers were eating all the food before the pygmies could get to it, but the pygmies are been doing fine all these years. So,
gotcha.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, and again, there's a lot of personal preference involved when it comes to that stuff. But I think, what Ed said, what I said, any of those things, are great places to kind of at least look into and see how that works.
And I do
All right.
drop a shrimp pellet in there once in a well, not about once or twice a week, also. So I know something's getting to the bottom of the tank.
Absolutely. Hey there, Eduardo Kane. So many awesome people in here. Lots of new names in here that I'm seeing as well. Appreciate you all being here. 102 people hanging out. Again, taking your questions and comments for those of you that weren't in here at the beginning. If you put the @ symbol and then put Fish Room Fever, what that does is it highlights on my screen for me and it makes you stand out so we can read those questions or comments live on the air. We try to get through each and every one of them every single week. So yeah, we're happy to do that. I see some other awesome people in here saying it is their first time. Appreciate you being here with us. All right, I think I got back up to where I needed to be at because the chat jumped on me, which is always awesome. That means you all are really active. That's always very much appreciated. Yes.
B Wood said I'll be 49 on my next birthday. See,
but you just had your birthday.
And dates are so confusing to me.
Yeah. Let's see. Pegasus Arena saying lots of love for me and the kids. Glad you're doing okay, Ed. Arena, you keep that baby close by. We've got something we're gonna do at the end of the show here. Where I think we're gonna open it up and let some people come up. We haven't done that in a long time. We'll restrict that to names we're familiar with, just for the sake of viewing safety and keeping things clean. Rico Stan says I've got shirts older than James. Oh, that doesn't surprise me, buddy. Maybe we'll send you some new ones.
What year were you born in, James?
I was born in 86.
I don't think I have shirts that old.
Alice B says, I have a fish with heater burn. Sadly, today it's become red raw. Treating with salt and water changes, but the fish isn't eating now for a week. Anything else I can do? ? And the heater is covered. So I really like, I'm used to having bottles at least fairly close by. I don't have it close by, but the Stress Zyme, Stress Coat. It's the one by Seachem. Stress Guard, it's Stress Guard. White bottle with purple labeling, Stress Guard. It's got some antiseptic properties as well as some promotes healing. But that stuff seems to do really well just in terms of keeping the fish kind of relaxed. I use it anytime I've got a sick fish, regardless of what the injury is, and it does seem to work well for the fish I've used it on, in my opinion.
How long?
It does. How long's it been?
The burn?
I don't know exactly how long the burn's been. It just have a fish with heater burn, and sadly today it's become red raw. But yeah, doing the salt, water changes, keeping nice clean water in there, definitely important. You will notice on that Stress Guard, it does say not to use with other medications. Though I don't know if salt is a medication, although it is. But I will say I have used it with other medications successfully. I've actually used it with the ICAX and a couple other things. So that would be my only other thing that I would recommend to add in there. You're doing the salt and the water changes, so that's a good start. Any other thoughts on that one, Ed?
Sometimes it just takes a little while. Bob Kaler just had one of his Pacus burn itself, and it took probably, I'm going to guess, 2 months to heal up. And it was about the size of a quarter, because that's a big fish. Yeah. And it was a good sized burn. And I think it looked worse the week after it happened than the actual week. And I think that's because probably the dead tissue had to dissolve. And that's when you could see the new tissue behind it. It looked worse. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's really important. Like what James said is, if you have that, the medicine that he said is a great stuff. I'm not going to pronounce it right, so I'm not going to say it. But salt helps what happens is when there's a wound on a fish, the water is pressing to get inside the fish. And so the salt helps keep a barrier and keep that salt, or it keeps the water from getting into the fish, making it sick. So salt's always good for wounds too.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I've had several times, unfortunately, I've had to do it. The Caribe piranha are fairly aggressive. But I've had quite a few piranha that have had full chunks taken out, nickel-sized chunks taken out of the tops of their heads. Like right behind the skull, if you will. And I've managed to get them all healed up and healthy and back into the tank so they can attack things once more. And that's kind of my regimen is the salt and water changes and the stress guard.
Now, do you ever? I know you tried tannins with your pomog. Oh gosh, I can't say the word. That one tank that was to donate towards the saving
The Piaba
fish.
Project
Piaba,
tank.
yeah. Do you ever use tannins to help with healing and keeping your fish healthy?
I don't generally go that route. So I don't include tannins as part of the healing regimen. I use tannins. I don't use the bottled tannins a lot, even though I've got some of that. I generally use Indian almond leaves, catappa leaves, which I've got a bunch of.
I think that's what the piranhas are doing in the wild.
Yeah,
tanning and water.
I do have that massive 2-foot piece of driftwood in the tank right now, letting it cure, and of course, it's doing all the wonderful driftwood fungus thing that driftwood loves to do. But it's also leaching a bunch of tannins in there as well. But it's just not something I've done in terms of healing. But I could definitely understand there are a lot of properties in there when you get the organics involved. Hip Hop Hillbilly says, thanks, Shep. All seems good, though any experience with Hillstream loaches changing color? When I got them, both were pretty dark, but now one is really light tan. Have heard mixed reasoning. Excuse me. I have not. Well, Ed, we'll start with you. Let's just start this one off.
Well, and we were talking to Mitchell Broomer, the master breeder down in Atlanta, and we were talking about substrates, and we were looking at he has probably 25 different types of Corridora, and he keeps all of his Corridoras on light sand, and we were talking about it because he really thinks that there's a difference in color with the darks and the lights of just the substrate. And I know for a fact that it does, because I took a spawn of Corey's and put half on black and half on normal tan, and the black ones got so much darker. So I'm willing to bet it's its surroundings. It's the substrate or the rocks he's hanging out on. But
absolutely, that's what I was going to say. Substrate plays a big factor. Diet can also be a factor in color, as well as just their overall level of happiness. And this is with most fish, not just with Hillstream loaches. And that's what I'm actually referencing is I haven't done Hillstreams, but I have kept a lot of other fish. And you notice the variance in lightness and darkness specifically when it comes to substrate, diet, and then also their behavior, whether they're stressed or happy. You can get color shifts, breeding garb versus not breeding garb, when they're trying to make some babies. So there are a lot of things, but a lot of times the substrate is kind of the biggest kind of baseline to look at, and then diet, of course. But you nailed it there, Ed. Jeff H. using his membership milestone super chat, been a member for 4 months. Thank you so much, Jeff. Appreciate you. Says, howdy, fish people. Geez, I have t-shirts 36 years old. I do not, unfortunately. I'm just a baby, right? Let's see, roll on down through here. Steel Slinger says, I had the same problem, Ed. Register at some website and put your age in. It will tell you how old you are. So yeah, there you go. Go register on a website and put in your date of birth, and it'll give you your age.
Yeah, that's great. Like,
all right.
You can ask James. The worst is when we have to travel somewhere and go over a time zone. I'm always not just 1 hour. I'm like 2 hours off, 3 hours off. It's insane. It's just so confusing.
I just look at my phone because I know it updates. But then it gets like, wait, did it update when we passed over the border? Yeah, we've had a couple instances where that has been interesting. Lunatic French, good to see you. Says the tank show. Where's Sherman? Yeah, different kind of tank. Good to see you, Lunatic French. Appreciate you being here. MSC Aquatic says thoughts on Repashy. So I still have not used Repashy. I've still not picked any up. Ed, I know you picked some up. Have you used it yet?
I have. I really think it's a good product, but I think it smells god awful when you make it. I like making Jello, but I don't like making Repashy. and it's kind of, you do it the same way. But when I do it, it's normally for my dad. Like if I'm going to go away for Aquashella for 5 days, I can make up a bunch of Repashy squares, and then my dad will just throw those little blocks in each tank, and the fish will just nibble on it. It'll sink to the bottom, and the catfish like it. Everything likes it. I don't know anything that doesn't like Repashy. So that's awesome. If you've got puffer fish, anything other than like, I guess, pea puffers, because they don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about their beaks, and I don't think you have to worry about dragon fish or dragon puffers, because they have actually teeth instead of beaks, from what we understand. A great way to do this, and I got this from Dan's Fish from Get Gills. He's a genius. What he does is he takes crushed shell and puts it in with his Repashy and drops those blocks in there, and the fish eat it, and they wear their teeth down or their beaks down. Amazing. So Repashy saw, and then Bob Steamfot, he was telling me that he uses it for his fry. He puts the powder form in the top of fry tanks. So yeah. I have the co-op fry food, but if I would ever run out of it, I would use it for that too, or try.
Absolutely. I think those are all very good points, Ed. Very well covered that question. Fantastic Freaks, thank you so much for that $5 super chat there. Our buddy Austin says, getting home from another day at work and CWS, and now time for my favorite streamers. Hope you two and the Fish Fam are well. Well, fantastic. Go enjoy your two favorite streamers. I hope you can. No, I'm just kidding. We appreciate you being here, Austin. Yeah, thanks for stopping by here first.
Or thanks for sticking around after you got done watching them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, fantastic. Thanks so much for the super chat. For those of you that don't know, Fantastic Freaks is a buddy of ours. He's a member of the Fish Room Fever family of channels, along with Rico Stan, the Garden of Eater, and several others that you can check out on my homepage. I've got it listed under channels I recommend, and it says they're people that I really enjoy their content. I think they're doing good things for the hobby, and I recommend you check them out. And I probably need to add one or two more on that I've missed. So if it's you that I haven't put on there, specifically Whip, I don't think I've got you on there yet, but Whip's World will get you. Sarah J. Sieber says Sarah J. Sieber, the Savannah daughter, says, haha, I'm a year older than James, and I already feel old. I do too, Sarah. They're picking on us because we're younger, but we can feel old. It's okay. It's not going to get better probably, but Rico Stan using his membership milestone super chat. Been a member for 23 months, almost 2 years, buddy. It's crazy how time flies. Says, I got nothing this month, but it's been a while now, eh? It has. And thank you so much, Rico Stan. Again, another one of those awesome Fish Room Fever family of channels that I recommend. Appreciate your support and everything you've done for the community and the hobby, buddy. There's Paul recommending everybody, if you have a question or comment you'd like us to read live on the air, just put that @ symbol and then Fish Room Fever. It highlights on my screen. I try and catch other things that don't have that, but it definitely makes it easier to grab everything, especially because a lot of good conversation, a lot of people saying hi, and it's easy to miss things. Alice B says, I think it's been 4 or 5 days. Thanks for all the help. That was in reference to the heater burn. So yeah, you're still going to have a little while. And it, like Ed said, it probably will look worse before it looks better. But that's kind of just the healing process, it seems, with any type of bad wound, I guess best way to put it.
I wonder like what type of fish it was, because it might depend on what type of scales it had too.
That definitely could factor into it as well. The Zen Ginger has been a member for 26 months. Thank you so much for everything, Zen. Another one of our awesome members, moderators, and people that likes to poke me and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in terms of YouTube, and I do appreciate it. It says, Ed, just to clarify, you are 1 year older than my hubby. Who's, I guess, born 74. You're born 73. You just turned 49. A very merry unbirthday to you, sir. Hashtag Team Zebra, because the Zen Ginger is not only the longest running member on the channel, but a member at the highest level. So all respect and thanks to her for that. Hashtag Team Zebra, and thank you, Zen. Well, on through here. 117 watching and 56 likes, says Paul Sotero. Something doesn't add up. Hey, I just appreciate the people hanging out. We got 119 now. That's crazy. I should start broadcasting from my living room more often.
I know.
Even though the green screen's not really working. Yeah, that's awesome. We appreciate y'all being here. Okay, roll on down through here. I'm trying to get caught up real quick because I do want to open it up now that it's halfway through the show. Go ahead, Ed. You had something to say. I'm not. Well, so the youngest one is on Xbox with mom. She's on her Xbox. He's on his. We got him an Xbox for his birthday.
Nice.
Which is part of why I didn't do the Friday show. Because Friday was his birthday, and even though we had wrapped things up, he wanted to play Xbox with mom and myself because now all three of us have consoles. The oldest one's run back and forth a couple times, so it's past his bedtime. But he's run back and forth, but the green screen has helped kind of block that a little bit. But it's not working 100% because of that this is not my studio. This is just the living room. But it's cease to keep the youngest one out. Just let him get on the Xbox. He's good to go. What happened to Whip?
That he's been kicked out of some type of a group, and he's really sad about it.
Oh,
nobody kicks Whip out of something.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised anybody would have a big enough foot to do it.
Yeah, Whip's a big guy. Hip Hop Hillbilly says, thanks. I kind of figured. Got dark planted in the back and white sand in the front. Haven't seen them eat anything other than the glass. Even tried algae wafers too, but they're active and moving fine. So they're acting and moving fine. So yeah, I mean, they should be doing well. I've got some fish that I don't know that I've ever actually seen them eat, or I've had fish in the past that I don't know that I could ever say, hey, I saw that fish eat. But that fish, lived a happy, healthy life. I knew it was eating somewhere at some point and that I was getting food in the tank. So yeah, it sounds like everything's going good. And I think you'll definitely see some color variations given that in that same tank you have dark in the back and white sand in the front. White sand tends to, in general, in my opinion and experience, dull out the fish a good bit. That is one of the only issues I have with doing the dirty tanks with the white sand cap is it tends to dull out the colors from what I've seen when you put them on that white sand. Most fish are not quite as vibrant as they possibly could be in terms of their coloration. Roll through here. Still Slinger says DIY Repashy is a whole vid I would love to see. Ed, there you go. I think that's something you need to do.
Oh, what was it?
Repashy video.
You're probably right. It's just okay. I'm up. Here's a bad thing. It took me a long time to do my micro worm commercial or video because I gag at bad smells so much. I mean, I just have to walk by something and I barf. So what I do for Repashy and these other bad smelling things is I take I take Vicks Vapor Rub and I shove it up my nose. And then I can do it. So maybe we'll try to do that. Maybe I'll do all the different ways of I've got a bunch of different ideas for videos to do. It's just I got to get healed up so I can do it. But we'll talk about that in the next stream. That's a great idea, though.
Definitely. So MSC Aquatics is Fish Room Fever. I got to ask on your website, what's the bag of beach? LOL. So that is a product brought to you. I don't have mine with me because I'm not in the office. But that is a product that was actually created and founded by good old Rat Cross from now Pond Life. I still want to say River Life all the time. Pond Life and Bird Garden. Those are his two YouTube channels. I suggest you check them out. Really cool stuff. But it's a product he came up with. And basically what it is, you could beach comb from home. And Ed and I did do a 1 hour stream where we both opened some up and sifted through it. And you pull out shark's teeth and shells. And they got all sorts of different little stuff. So you could pretty much go beach combing from your house. It started at kind of the height of the pandemic when nobody could go anywhere. And I was like, well, this is a fun thing that you could do with family. And it's still a fun thing to do, especially if you can't get anywhere near a beach, even now that, lockdown's not in full force. But that is that product. And I enjoy it. The kids really loved it. I had fun with it. And like I said, you could go check out where Ed and I did a live stream where we opened some up and we played with it and, dug through there and see what kind of shark's teeth and stuff we could find, as well as another gentleman. And I can't think of the name of the channel. If Bird Garden is here, he can help me out. He may know. But there was a much bigger YouTube channel that does like stuff like that. You know, he buys like the bags with gold in it and bags with fossils and bags with shark teeth and does reviews on them. He did a video on it and got some, so you can check that out as well. It's cool stuff. Go through here. Mary Beth, thank you so much. Using your membership milestone, Super Chat, been a member for 19 months. Says, wait a minute, I thought I was older than Ed. I don't know. Age is just a number, right?
Mary Beth, you don't look half my age.
Matthew would like to know, can I put 5 white clouds in a 5-gallon? Yes. I don't see why not. Ed, any thoughts on why not?
Nope. I say do it. White clouds are tough.
There you go. Delilah's Critters, using her membership milestone. Super Chat, been a member for 21 months. Thank you so much, Delilah. Says, happy to be here with you no matter how old we are. Absolutely. That's the important thing. We're all here together. 116, 17, 19, 42,000 people hanging out right now. Appreciate each and every one of you. I love you no matter how old you are. And thanks for being part of the fish fam. All right. I think I almost caught up here. There we go. Couple highlighted things. Paul says he was 28 when I was born. Steel Slinger says, any tips on making crebensis do the dirty and make babies? Daddy needs money. I mean, I've generally found that with most fish, yeah, I'm sure there's some specialized tips with cribs. I haven't really done anything specially to breed them. When they did breed, I had them. They just kind of did it. Make sure that and again, I'm generalizing this for breeding most fish. Make sure that you are giving them whatever type of specialized cave or anything that fish needs, whether it's plecos with the cave or, other fish with a little pot. But look into food. Typically speaking, almost any fish can definitely benefit from having a high protein diet when you're wanting to breed them. I have found that typically that helps with egg development and everything I've studied. Getting that protein in there for the mom, she can develop, I guess you could say, more eggs, but better eggs, easier to fertilize. That kind of conditioning, that's the word I was looking for. That kind of conditioning definitely helps. If it's not a crib, but like plecos, I get them lots of green beans and stuff as well, along with a high protein diet. There you go. I figured Ed would pull up a picture or something.
Yeah, I took this. It's actually a video. I'm waiting for the mom to pop her head out, and I sat there for a minute and a half, and she waited until I put the camera somewhere else. But, yeah, and then that one hid when I took the camera to that side.
That's about how it worked with the camera. But the other thing is
actually,
temperature.
no, they're both on top. They're on.
I see them there. Yeah.
But I did this just so I could try to. Oh, look! See, she poked her head out, and then
she's like, "Nope." Yeah. And I mean, that's a very simple setup right there. Very simple cave.
And he takes those. What they are is they're the bottoms of the pots, that collect the water, and he keeps them soaking 24/7. And he takes the lid up, and they lay their eggs on the top of the lid. So he takes them out in a bowl of water, and then he just replaces the lid with a new one.
Very smart.
And he's always got them soaking. He had a tank with like 50 of these pots, always soaking. He had shrimp in there, and so that way he's always got beneficial bacteria coating the whole thing. So he just gets to put the next one right on top. And he was cycling through those fish. It was awesome.
Oh, no, definitely. Temperature was the other thing I wanted to mention. So adequate spawning area, whether it's a cave or a pot or whatever, a good diet, high protein, and then look into what temperature. And this is, again, for almost any fish. Look into what temperature, not just that they live in, but a lot of times temperature will vary slightly for breeding, just like zebra plecos, bristlenose plecos, a lot of other fish, my piranhas, all of those I do temperature adjustments for breeding. So look into that. And most times those 3 factors, you can get some breeding going for just about any fish.
If if it's a river fish versus like a lake fish, sometimes soft water added to the water will help them breed too.
All right, let's see if I can get caught up real quick.
Season.
We got 20 minutes left. I want to give a couple people a chance to come on here tonight. Super quick here. Metcal74, good to see you, Metcal, says, I have 2 Prograramis with Tsunamigo fricatus in a 37-gallon tank. After a year, I think the gouramis are finding the fricatus tasty. Tasty little snacks. I think it's a tank size problem. It could be. I would look at how many sight breaks you have, how many line of sight breaks. You know, if you've got lots of hiding places. Again, I'm a huge planted tank guy. So having lots of hiding places, you get plants in there, you get hiding places, but you also get a lot of line of sight breaks, places things get away. If you notice it to be a continuing issue and you don't mind upgrading the tank size, go ahead and upgrade the tank size. I think that's not going to hurt, definitely. But I would start with making sure that it's easy to give your other fish a place to hide from those Prograramis. What about you, Ed? Thoughts?
You know, I've never really had a breeding Prograramis?
No, the gouramis are going after the Pseudomagills that just started after about a year.
Oh.
So I was wondering if maybe that after a year the tank size is becoming an issue, but I don't know how the tank is set up in terms of if there's good line of sight breaks and
yeah, that sounds
hiding places for the Pseudomagills.
But you know, that is the problem, is when we buy these gouramis and they're normally a lot smaller and then they do grow.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't hurt if you've got the space and the money and you don't mind getting a bigger tank. Go for that bigger tank, see if that helps out. Fantastic Freaks is going to have to bribe you, Ed, and some others one of these summers to a CWS game. Tickets are on me, and then hit some fish stores here in Omaha. Dude, I would love to. Absolutely fantastic.
I have wanted to do that my whole life, actually. I have the College World Series baseball has been in Omaha for decades, and it's always such a blast. But it's my grandmother's. Both my grandfathers passed away before I was born, and I would go and I'd spend my summers in Iowa, but neither one of my grandmothers had a car. So basically, I could only walk around Council Bluffs. I couldn't go any farther. Like when we went to Omaha, it had to be somebody would have to drive us to the zoo or something.
Absolutely. Kenny E from T.A.N.K Aquatics using his membership milestone super chat. Been a member for 27 months. I know that peeves Zen because her membership time lapsed. She gets mad because it shows you longer. But that says, LOL. I did not know that I was that much older than Ed.
Who's that?
Kenny T.A.N.K. Old guy there. Just kidding, buddy. Love
He's
you.
only like 20-some years older.
Steel Slinger says, yeah, my male has dug my whole tank up making caves, but they won't. La la la. Try and get some of those little pots and caves in there, kind of like what Ed showed. Get something that he knows, the male and the female a lot of times, know is a secure, safe place to lay, because sometimes that'll factor in. If they don't feel like they're safe in the tank, they won't lay eggs. Kind of like angelfish have a tendency to eat the babies. If there are other things in there that make them fear for the babies, they just kill them off themselves instead.
I tried to make us have like a Three Stooges look for this week's thumbnail.
Like it. I'm trying to get caught up real quick here. Whips World says, and this is his membership milestone. Oh, go let the kitty in. Been a member for 9 months. Thank you, Whip brother. Appreciate you. I see you people were you 20-something memberships. Make me feel bad about myself. I need to catch up now. Oh, hey, brother, I appreciate you being here. I know you've been a supporter for a long time, and that means the world to me. And then finally to the bottom, Medcal74 says, I have a 72-gallon I can put them in that has pencil and Harlequin rasboras, but didn't want them to get eaten. I would probably not do that. I would probably not do that. You could, so if you're going to be able to monitor the situation closely, you could try it and see. But I wouldn't put them in there and walk away from that situation for fear, exactly like you said, of those rasboras getting eaten. But yeah, and Paul brings up a very, very good point. He says the pseudomagills and the grommies spend a lot of the time in the same part of the tank, which would be that top third of the tank. The area that fish spend time in, that does definitely factor in. That's good thinking there, Paul. Because a lot of times you can put a good mix of fish in if you go, okay, well, these are bottom dwellers, these are mid-water, and these are top layer fish. So always good to keep that in mind. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We've got 15 minutes left, so we've got time to bring up a couple people, give everybody a few minutes here, and then we'll kick you off and we let somebody else up. I'm going to paste this in the chat.
I should have like a timer.
Yeah.
And
do 3 minutes. Let's do 3 minutes.
3-minute timer?
Get several people in here. All right.
Let me put this on airplane mode.
That link there, I would ask that you be somebody we're familiar with, because there are some people out there that like to try and come up on streams and do inappropriate things. So if I don't know you and I can't see you on the camera, we're not going to bring you on to the live part of it. But we got to let them get in here first. But Rena, this is that perfect opportunity to show off that new baby you've been asking to come up and show us, and we'd love to see that newest member of the Fish Fam. But there's the StreamYard link. Again, not to throw off anybody that is new, but we just want to make sure that it's safe for everybody. I'm going to bring up Arena first, and then I see somebody else also in the background. Get ready to start that timer, Ed. Here we go. Hey there, Arena.
Hey, guys. Okay, for some reason, my headset is not working right.
Gotcha. Well, we can hear you.
How are you doing today?
Okay. Your audio is coming through my phone, so it's hard for me to keep track. But
Gotcha.
I'm doing good. I know I haven't been doing my streams recently. I've been figuring out the whole situation thing,
Absolutely.
But wrong button. I know everybody's looking forward to hold on.
There's the little one. The newest member of the Fish Fam there. That is awesome. Sorry it took a while to get you on here, but just, life is crazy sometimes.
Okay. Hold on. I need to turn the earphones off for a second. Okay.
So does the little one have her own tank yet? Have you set up something for her?
We are currently still in between right now, so nothing's set up yet. But the
Gotcha.
other thing I wanted to show you guys was my LFS. We had stored credit to use recently. So what I did was I went and I got
that is awesome. That is awesome.
All of these. And James, there's 2 here that I thought you'd find real interesting.
Yeah, the plecos. You know me and my plecos. That is awesome.
And then we've got a total of 4 here that revolve around plants and how to set them up and everything. And then I've got tropical fish. There's one here on shrimps. There's tetras, 2 with bettas. There's a discus, danios, endlers, live bearers, all sorts of stuff. Here's one with cory cats in it.
That's so cool.
So what exactly are we looking? Are they like a postcard that has like facts about the fish, or just awesome lookingness?
What it is they are books and magazines.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of store credit.
I had a total of $40, and all of these were like $2, some were $5. The big blue Atlas buck was 10. There's only 2 books in the collection that I got that are not fish related. We have 1 book for canary care, and there's a care guide book for bearded dragons that Kaya wanted.
Very, very cool. Ed, how are we doing on time, buddy? That is awesome,
Actually,
Rena.
That
And
is awesome. But
I recommend anybody and
so
everybody
fast.
pick up books. All right, I'm going to get EJ up here because she's waited patiently in the background and for the sake of fairness, holding time. Rena, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Thank you for showing off the little one. Welcome to the fish fam, little one. And that's an awesome pickup on the books. Go check out Pega's sister, Rena. She's got some cool stuff on her channel. I think
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
All right, EJ, sorry for making you wait, but I've been trying to get Rena up here for a while. She's been asking, so I wanted to put her on first. Here we go. EJ, hello, hello.
Hi, good to be here. No, but Irina had such a really amazing collage. I loved it.
Absolutely. Now I saw you in the background showing off a tank. I'm curious to see what that was.
I've been talking about this pea puffer tank. Sorry, I was doing a little bit of TLC. I just released some Daphnia so that you guys can see the murder beans, my pea puffers.
Nice.
So give me a second while I configure everything by using one hand because, you know.
Absolutely.
I multitask.
It makes life interesting trying to do it one-handed. While you're working on that, for anybody that's not familiar, do you have a channel that people can check out what you've got going on?
EJ, I guess. Pretty new. I've only been doing this for a couple of months. I've only been doing fish keeping since November. So hold on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're already doing Daphnia. I was going to talk about Daphnia in the next stream. A little.
All right, hold on. Let me. Lighting is key. I want to be able to showcase this, so I'm turning everything around me black. So this, I just fed them a bunch of snails, but these are my little murder beans. There's 12 of them. I originally started with 10, and then 2 just showed up one day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
That is so cool.
I've got 6 coolie loaches in here. They are scavengers. So this is part of the entire food web where we have the main the main tank or the main residence. And those are, he's already chewing on the snails. We've got the main residence and then but they're messy eaters. So I have coolie loaches to clean up after them. And these guys are always a riot and they're always out, even though they're nocturnal, but I do feed them at night. So that might have something to do with it. Pea puffers aren't nocturnal though. They go to sleep at night. Then I have 2 Hillstream loaches. And I used to have chili rasboras in here and they did really, really well, but I'm a little bit of an aesthetic person and I wanted more depth in greens. So, so chilies were more pinks and I removed all the pinks from this tank and created a whole different feel to this tank. And so now I put these killifish in there. So we'll see how they do. There's 3 of them running around.
It is a beautiful tank. In the worlds of Steel Slinger, he says, damn, that's a sweet planted tank.
Yeah. So this is the result of, I put this tank together. Well, I mean, my plant stuff and I've been doing, and it's a relatively new setup. I think it's probably about a month old. There's some, it's a food web. So I also seeded this with scuds and blackworms are in the substrate, different types of snails. The Malaysian trumpet snails tend to bury in the substrate, so they're safe. I have 5 Amano shrimp in here, but they still aren't making a dent in the, which with this amount of driftwood, there's a ton of biofilm.
Right.
And which could feed the Amano shrimp for days. So I might, here's Big Mama. She's my favorite coolie loach. Oh. She's a big striped one. They're all acting excited because I just added some new fish in here and they don't know how to handle it. But I'm going to watch the dynamics and see how it works. Like I said, they were fine with the chili rasboras. And here's one of my Hillstream loaches.
So cute.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Now, does the pea puffers ever mess with the hill stream
I
loaches?
haven't seen any evidence of it.
That's awesome.
So I have now. Keep in mind, keep in mind, and now these Kelly are a little dull because I just caught them from another tank. But when they color up, they have this iridescence glow, which works with the depth of the color of this tank. I'm all about colors as well as a natural food web.
Let's
So
just say the bioactive diversity that you've got going on in that tank is just amazing, and that's something that I strive to do more than I am. You're doing a lot more than I am, and I think other people should as well. And I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you. This is play sand I got from Home Depot, which I rinsed. And now, sometimes you can rinse, sometimes you don't. But I always mess around with the substrate a lot because I'm always planting and replanting or just trimming. So I always like to rinse the sand. And then there's dirt with fertilizer, about 2 inches of dirt and about 4 inches of sand. I want it a little bit deeper because if you see on my Instagram, I haven't posted the final of this yet. So you guys are the first ones to see this. But I'm about to post a video kind of detailing where I'm at. On my Instagram, you can just see the hardscape. It takes me a long time to put together a tank, mostly because I agonize over each and every little step. So, it took me about a week to complete the soil and make sure that the fertilizers were just right. I also mixed humus in with the sand. So that's something that's a little bit different. I always try to do something that's different because I experiment a lot. So I have not done humus or like leaf litter, but I did, aesthetically, I don't think this tank called for a leaf litter on top. So I mixed it just a thin layer. So it's about 2 inches of sand. And then I put a thin layer of humus and then,
very smart.
Yeah. And so then kind of, it makes it, what I found is it makes it a little bit difficult to plant some of the plants because
right. That makes sense.
So that's a learning experience right there. But it's not impossible, obviously. Now, I knew that I had to be careful with the plants because the coolie loaches just, they're scavengers. So it's a complete food web. So these are like the vultures of the underworld. And so they're always, wait, where are you? There you are.
Adorable. That's a beautiful fish.
Oh, the dynamics are so interesting in this tank. The pea puffers don't really go after. I haven't seen them go after their tank mates so much because there's always scuds swimming around, or there's always something interesting to look at. Because I not only did the scuds and the blackworms, I also seeded it, believe it or not, with some green water had microfauna in it, like the detritus worms,
nice.
copepods, like small paramecium. I try to avoid the planaria, but I'm not really that worried about it if there's planaria in here because, well, they'll eat the planaria too. And I'm not breeding shrimp, and I'm not trying to, breed anything in here. This is simply something that I like to look at in terms of an ecosystem and the dynamics of it. So
that is a very, very beautiful setup. I am extremely impressed with that, and I look forward to seeing the video when you put that out. Zen Ginger did post the links for your channel as well as Rena's in the chat. People go check that out. I think you mesmerized not only myself and the audience, but also my timer guy there because we are at the end of the show at this point.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. No, we got wrapped up in it.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt because it was educational and there's nobody waiting in line. So
well, good. I'm glad
it's true.
One thing I do want to say, I know we got to wrap up, but one thing I do want to say is that the wood that I used super glue gel, but this wood is not all from one place. I gathered it and even cut some up, but I gathered it from multiple places, which is an aquascaping no-no, I guess. But I wanted to see, I don't know, I felt that in terms of depth of color, it was a little bit more interesting. So a lot of this is kind of, it's not the norm. It's not what, it doesn't follow the rules.
Well, I'm a fan of going that route myself. I think you did a beautiful job, and I appreciate you coming up and sharing that with us.
For sure.
We are going to jump back into the chat to say a couple final goodbyes. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing, both you, EJ, and Pegasus Arena. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pull you off of here. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We don't just want to look at me. We need Ed. There's Ed. All right. Real quick, let me get back up here. Hip Hop Hillbilly, you said you can't come up live, but you wanted to share a video or picture. fishroomfever@gmail.com. You can send it there, or if you're on Facebook, I'm Fishroom on Facebook. You can send it via Messenger. Either way, I will get that. And I'd love to see what you got going on there. I'd love to actually get to see the tank that we've talked about. Ash, you're a little late because we're wrapping up. I see Ash in the background. Ed, are you?
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. All right, we're running over Ed's time.
Okay, here. Let's. I'll stop it. Oh my gosh, I'm not very good at.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Doing well.
Good. Hi, me, Pepper.
Oh, kitty. Hello, Pepper.
I love the cats.
These my goldfish.
We like goldfish.
You know what? This looks a lot like my first house I had, because I had the paneling kind of coming down, and I put the fish tank into the wall, and I had like not necessarily paneling, but wood. It looked like a boat is what I was going for.
That's me too. Exactly.
Nice.
Very cool.
Which I think you guys have gotten to know me a little bit through the chats over the last few months.
Absolutely.
So I fish a bunch. So yeah, the boat look it's a good look.
Well, that's awesome.
Wow, it's so cool to meet you guys finally. Hey, what's up?
You as well. Like, yeah, we've gotten to know you through the chat. It's nice to actually get to talk to you, face to face, so to speak.
A face.
There you go.
So I wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to Austin in August.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Or Dallas?
Are you guys done? For Dallas for Aquashella. Sorry.
Yes, we'll be there. Oh, Nico just came up to say hi.
I you said Boston, and I knew what you were talking about, but yeah, Dallas, yeah.
No, I said Austin by accident, but it's
Austin,
Dallas.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh my gosh, so cool! Can't wait to see you guys.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, most definitely. That'll be awesome.
That's gonna be a fun time. Definitely.
I just saw the layout for that, and it is going to be a packed show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited.
I don't think there's any booth spaces left. It's all sold out and everything and ready to go. So
nice.
Wow. Oh, incredible. I don't want to eat up much more of your time, Ed, but I wanted to show you something. I wasn't sure if you're still doing your crafts. Well,
yep.
Well,
I've been slowed down. Is it the doll head?
She's right here. I didn't want to send her yet because I didn't know. She's right here. Isn't she cute?
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
I will turn that into an octopus or something. Or a crab.
That would be cool.
If you'd let me. Do you want to bring it to Dallas?
What doing?
That's awesome.
I have a diaper on her because she leaks.
Oh no. Now, and you found that fishing?
A friend of mine actually dragged her up.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was left by the wharf by the winch with an I. And it terrified the kids. They wanted to throw it away. And I'm like, no, I want to take it home and like keep it. And my friends' kids come over and they go, Ashley, that is terrifying. I was like, listen, sometimes we go through rough patches in life and we look a little rough. But you gotta understand, someone loved that baby,
Enough to throw it into the ocean for some cursed reason.
But who knows? Things go awry and you don't have any control in life.
Yeah.
But this baby was resurrected and came back. And so I have her now.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah.
The best thing I ever pulled out fishing, I think, was a slipper. But it was like one of those pink furry slippers that a girl would have. That I thought was so funny that I would find that in a lake.
That is
well,
awesome.
And if you do me the honor and you want to adopt her, I'll send her along to you.
I will make her into something awesome.
Oh,
like a princess of the sea.
Excellent. That makes me feel so good. So anyways, guys, I don't want to eat up any more of your time, but it's been super good, like amazing to chat with you. I'm so excited about August. I'm going to put my head down and fish real hard this summer season. So we'll see you guys soon.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Pepper says goodbye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Pepper.
Meow.
All righty. Well, now that we are into your time frame here, Ed, push the right button here. There we go. Links in the chat for everybody that came up, and we appreciate you.
I'm doing a terrible job keeping track of time.
You are. We're not going to let you be the timekeeper anymore, but it's okay because it's your show. We're running over. That being said, a huge thank you, Ed, for being on as always, my buddy, pal, and co-host. Thank you to everybody that came up to hang out with us last minute here. Appreciate that. You do that. There we go. Any final thoughts, Ed? Anything you want to tell people before we wrap it up? 100 people watching still.
Nope. We'll just head on over and keep the party going.
Absolutely. Ed's link is in the chat right now. You can follow us on over for Crafted with Chattanooga Ed.
And Rico.
Thank you. And Rico and myself. Absolutely. Until next time, a huge thank you to all the moderators, members, lurkers, listeners, super chatters, contributors, questioners, commentators, of course, the replay crew. I love you guys. Until next time, keep your fish healthy. Keep yourselves healthy. Don't be afraid to catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care.